Hey grade 7, it's Mr. Butler here again. Now, this is going to be our final video in this series, and what we're going to look at is we're going to look at another piece of conversion. But in this instance, we're going to look at converting from one type of text, direct speech, to direct speech in another type of text. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take the page from the Wonder Woman graphic novel that we looked at earlier, and we're going to start looking at how to convert that into a piece of text from perhaps a short story or a normal novel. Okay, so we're going to convert it from the stylistic conventions in a graphic novel into the stylistic conventions that we'd find in a standard piece of text. Okay, so let's look first at what we have in our graphic novel. What is exactly going on? That's where we begin when we start to convert from one type of text to another. Well, as we discussed previously, we have all of our usual stylistic elements. We have the frames, we have the informative text, we have the graphics, we have the speech elements themselves in their various stylistic formats. But let's look a little bit deeper. Let's look at what's going on with the storyline. So in this first frame, we see there's a trail. Okay, there's an air trail, a cloud trail there, like from the back of a jet plane, and we know that that is either Superman or Wonder Woman. Okay, or we suspect it is based on who's following in the next frame. Okay, there's some kind of a rocky outcrop. It looks like a desert type scene. It looks as though it's probably very dry and barren there. In the next scene, we see Wonder Woman. She smashes down onto the top of that outcrop, doesn't she? And we see all this smashed stone, and there's probably a little bit of gust of wind coming out. And we can see the cloaks of Batman and Superman both blowing in the breeze a little. There's a lot of colour difference here between the dark Batman and the more gaudy red and blue of Superman's outfit. Okay, in the actual body language of the characters, we see Superman looks as though he's been sat waiting for a while. Yeah, that's the kind of body language that says he's been sat down for a while. Batman is stood up. He looks a bit more pensive, as he usually does, doesn't he? Look at the faces. Look at the expressions. Wonder Woman, okay, looks a bit annoyed, doesn't she, in her body language. Look at the arm there. She's dismissive. Okay, she's dismissive in that. She comes down. She looks pensive and angry. The face there, her shoulders are hunched. Again, she's annoyed. She's irritated. Superman, if we look at the face of Superman, we can't tell much from this side, but here he looks a little bit put out. He looks a bit worried. He's concerned about her. Okay, it's hard to tell with Batman because he's got his mask on, but from his tone, he looks as though he's very measured and careful in what he says. Okay, so those give us some clues that we might want to incorporate into our writing. Okay, so let's begin. Let's begin by giving some background to what's going on. So Wonder Woman has flown in. So we could say, so we know the names of these characters, don't we? We've seen enough of these in the past. So we know that Wonder Woman is called Diana Prince, Superman is called Kal-El, Kal-El from Krypton, and Batman, obviously, we know is Bruce Wayne. So let's use their real names in this short story. So we're going to start by, we're going to say, Diana spotted Cal's scarlet cloak below and dropped with a thud atop a rocky outcrop. Okay, and I like the fact that she lands and she throws up some sandstone shards. So I'm going to say throwing up sandstone shards and a dry gust of wind that quickly quickly. Let's say immediately. Immediately died. Okay. I also am quite impressed with the way that Batman's cloak flows out and the colour difference. So I'm going to say, let's start a new paragraph there. I'm going to say, they were not alone. They were not alone. The purple and black shadow she'd seen from above now unfurled in the breeze, had unfurled. Let's say had unfurled. Had unfurled in the breeze, like a dark desert blue. Okay. That sounds okay, I think. So what does that tell us? Well, that tells us that Bruce was there too. Okay. And for her, she's thinking, is this a trap? Okay, so that gives us a bit of intro, doesn't it? Okay. Now, what happens then? Well, she starts speaking, and this is where we get into our direct speech. What do you want? So remember our rules for speech. Let's spell correctly, that might be better. She demanded. We start a new paragraph for the next character. Okay, so Superman's a bit put out, isn't he? Nice to see you too. Comma, speech mark, said Cal. What do you want? She demanded. Nice to see you too, said Cal. Now here we've got something interesting. Now in the next set of speech that we get from Superman, okay, from Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman says, "I don't have time for games today, Cal." Hyphen hyphen. Now in the comic strip convention there, hyphen hyphen, is essentially saying that Batman then cuts in. Okay, so he cuts her short in what she's saying. So we can use a hyphen in this instance here too. Okay, I don't have time for games today, Cal. Okay, for games today, Cal. Speech. Okay. Perfect. So we know there that is meaning that she's been cut short. Okay. And on the next line, what happened to the lasso? Remember, in America, in Australia and England, we say lasso. In America, they say lasso, but here in Australia, we say lasso. Asked Bruce, cutting her short. Okay. What? She asked in surprise. Okay, and here we can add some extra narrative, you know, which tells us what she's thinking. Because obviously this is a piece of text. We don't have the benefit of seeing her face over here. So we need to give the reader some kind of information as to what's going on. And we want to see what's in her brain. What is she thinking? So she might be thinking, what business was that of theirs? Okay. And then we carry on with the speech. Here we have the next line. You've always carried it. You've always carried it, he stated, full stop. We're trying to determine if that's why you're acting so. And again, we get cut off here. Okay. Cal now cuts off Batman. Okay. Out of character. Put in Cal. Who was clearly concerned. Angry, corrected Bruce. Stolidly. It's a word that means he's very determined. Okay, so there we go. There we have a piece of text. Let's make sure we've not made any mistakes there. Diana spotted Cal's scarlet cloak below and dropped with a thud atop a rocky outcrop, throwing up sandstone shards and a dry gust of wind that immediately died. So we've got some words there with associations for desert. We've got rocky outcrop, we've got sandstone shards, we've got a dry gust of wind, and something that immediately dies. You know, deserts are associated with death. They were not alone. The purple and black shadow she'd seen from above had unfurled in the breeze like a dark desert bloom. Okay, so we've got a simile, haven't we? We've got like a dark desert bloom. Okay, again we've got desert mentioned. Okay, Bruce was there too. Was this a trap? What do you want? She demanded. She didn't ask, she demanded, because she's irritated. Nice to see you too, said Cal. I don't have time for games today, Cal. What happened to the lasso? Asked Bruce, cutting her short. What? She asked in surprise. What business was that of theirs? You've always carried it, he stated. We're trying to determine if that's why you're acting so out of character, cutting Cal. He was clearly concerned. Angry, corrected Bruce stolidly. So, that brings us to the end of our video series on the use of direct and indirect speech. I hope it's been interesting for you. So you've now got ahead of you an exercise to do essentially what I've just walked you through here, is to take a few pages from a graphic novel and convert them from one text type, graphic novel, to a more normal standard text type, back from a novel, short story or newspaper. Okay, good luck. I hope you enjoy the work ahead of you.